Do I have a delay? Wait.
I don't. It's not live on my side. This
Uh,
is.
hey guys. I don't know if you're seeing me 90 seconds in the future or not. I hope
I
you are.
don't think they are. I have it up. So
You don't see me yet? Delay.
no, I don't. But this is all
90
live.
seconds. 90 seconds. All right. Well, hey guys, welcome to another
Incredible.
lovely day of University of Hartford Overwatch. Hey, I have to make sure we don't get real booked, you know. Welcome. Uh, I'm Eric Culver. This is probably Peter.
Hello.
We're professionals.
Yeah, professional.
Let's just skip straight to it. How's your French?
Uh, mm, pa- parlez-vous en français? Beaucoup. Le petit mot.
Poisson, pas mal.
Fais pommage.
Facebook. What? Well, today we've got the a team from Quebec. They speak French. They've got their own stream.
Oh.
They're pretty cool and fancy.
Well, they don't actually speak French. They speak Quebecois.
And we see Trueblade rolling out with this Malga. It's been dominating the Overwatch scene for the last 7 days, but there has been a slight nerf to the character, as he did receive a hot fix today, reducing a lot of his value. Now, trying to go in for this slam engage, looking to get just a massive stun, but oh, he's getting heavily chunked down by that enemy Symmetra, and oh, pure chaos as Trueblade bringing himself so weak, needs to just stabilize as Revan and Cranky doing whatever they can to farm their own ultimates. And good resource management coming out by Revan, nearly building up this ultimate first. First ultimate in this fight may be Revan is brought in dangerously low, but if he can stay alive, he has this ultimate here. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Massive
Cole's
slam.
gonna come in as the slam goes in. Massive damage as Revan just managed to finish off that heavy chunk damage onto LFSTA. And this is going to be a chaotic fight, but University of Hartford looking to equalize, however, a Cole on the side of the Quebecois team. And they managed to continue to hold this point. They have lost a member, but University of Hartford has not flipped the point or taken advantage yet.
It's going to be very difficult to... I think making this summer work into the Reinhardt composition may be quite difficult for the team with Orimuro, or Cranky. But a fat EMP completely negates the May ultimate, and now Death Blossom is available. He does almost find one, but the Sim Wall and Cryo from the May completely negate the ultimate. And oh, even though May brought extremely low, they're not able to actually take them out. Orimuro not able to find any of these kills he's looking for. Revan, though, nearing another ultimate. Hartford seem like they may just call it off, disengage, and this is a long, drawn-out fight. Hartford, oh no.
Brutal look for Trueblade 16 as he manages to charge off the map accidentally there. Could have potentially been a little bit of boopage, but very sad state. And like you said, very long, very drawn-out fight. We're at 80% here. This is one fight territory for this Quebecois team to be able to actually hold this and get this first round win on Li Jiang. University of Hartford needs this one map just to get a percentage on the board here. So this is a tough position to be in. But they teleport on, trying to make this a little faster. And at 90%, they've started their fight, but they all get shattered. Cage to reverse, but already down 2. Track is going to have to pull out something amazing. Or crash the game. So, fun fact, I think I figured out exactly what's been causing this bug. The moats meta, i.e. Maga Goats, has been a very prevalent meta over the last couple days, and it brought back one of my favorite bugs, which is called OBS Crash Bug. Back during Overwatch 2 early OWL days, there was an issue where if two Lucios beat at the exact same time, whichever camera OBS was currently spectating immediately crashed, and that OBS agent inside of the server immediately just got kicked out of the game and was not able to spectate anymore. So, as we saw there with a cage and a beat going off at the exact same time, I believe it is the same bug, considering how consistent it is, that when the beat lands whilst a cage is up, it immediately crashes the server. Similar to that old bug that I was just discussing. So, obviously, if you're in Twitch chat, discuss it. That might be it. It could be something else. If there's any coders out there, definitely would love some input from you guys, but that's seemingly what's been causing this issue that hasn't just been impacting like ranked games. Had a ranked game cancel a couple days ago because of that. It's also been impacting scrims, and then I believe an official OWCS qualifying match recently got hit by that bug as well.
Now, two really important things coming out of this reset. Number one, this gives the University of Hartford a chance and a good minute, 30 seconds, whatever, to, process. How are we going to play into this enemy Rhine comp? Are we going to stick with this Malga? Are we going to switch over to some other option? Let's see what we work with. And it seems we're going to be seeing Orimaru on the Mei again and Cranky on this Bastion. Positive number 2 coming out from this reset. I fixed the overlay. And we have the right teams over the right names this time. I think that was the real reason we had to do the restart.
I mean, that's probably why the server crashed, actually. But we are going to see a SimTP, very classic, continuing to play this as Jacko the Jester, doing a fantastic job on the Reinhardt in that little faux first round that we got to see. Now to the real one, hopefully with barring any other issues occurring. University of Hartford creeping in through White Room, playing a lot more slowly. And like you said, hopefully they make the correct adjustments here as the main wall does come up on the side of UdeM. TrueBlade 16 brought incredibly low. But he manages to continue to sustain throughout all of that, largely to the support, due to the support from his backline.
Like Maywall trying to isolate the Mei of Hartford or Imuru, but isn't able to find the space they're looking for. But might have been a massive boot by OGP Navy SEALs, as that's exactly what it is. And the fight is just going to get cleaned up. And now Hartford back to the drawing board. Perhaps going to run it back, perhaps going to switch it up just a little bit. I think Hartford, they're not as experienced playing into this Reinhardt and are struggling with the one-dimensional shield of the Reinhardt character. And
yeah, a lot of what Reinhardt is running, they require you to actually get and hit bodies, but like the Maga can't force ignition, nor are they able to really use their cardiac overdrive all that well when they have a shield up in their face like this. They could try and shoot through it, which is hopefully what the Bastion is here for, and maybe just walk past it, but now they have a beat on their side. They managed to break the shield, and that's a fight win right there. The University of Hartford does manage to back up, but Pandor manages to freeze and kill Cranky. Both DPS on the side of University of Hartford down once again, and they're going to have to just reset here, even though they have gotten the tank. It would take a lot of picks here, but that's one. That's a good place to start.
Oh, he's going in! Big headshot with the slam. That's massive value, but it's not enough. The respawn is back of Jacko the Jester, and now with a good Lucio rollout coming out from the other team, it is going to be an equal fight for what's it? UdeM?
UdeM boys.
Esports. the Canadian boys. Team Canada.
The Canadian boy, Team Quebecois. Whatever they go by, they're doing a fantastic job. Once again, they get back to the single fight territory. University of Hartford ready to attack. Cage does not cancel server. This is really large. Just Jacko the Jester finally goes down. Probably would have saw that last time too. A frame drop, however, as TrueBlade 16 attempts to kill Pandora before the icicle goes away, but they managed to finish that off. And at 99%, the University of Hartford does take control of the point for the first time. And this could be good. I think the University of Hartford has a good comp to be able to play on point. It just might not be as strong as a sim. However, if they continue to try and go for sim TP plays, they could be easily read as we see Blackout looking for it, or Imuro looking for it as well, and they opt to instead TP wide just to cover some distance and fight from the outside of point here. Blackout hunting for some boops.
Now, just the sheer value of this Reinhardt can completely control the space on this map, and it's really hard for the Malga composition to just push in and deny that space. Right, the shield with the sim turrets is just so hard to contest against. And now, good freeze coming out from Orimaru. Does catch two members that TrueBlade 16 is able to secure, and now looking to hunt down this Symmetra. One of the only members is her and the Lucio are just trying to stall this point out, and they are surely falling over. Mei, last person standing, with Reinhardt does return. And Hartford are able to hold on with an expensive fight coming out from both teams. And we see Pandora switching over to the Soldier. Interesting choice.
Very interesting choice. I think that the Soldier's not going to get as much value when it comes to the Brawl, but they can stay further out and potentially just provide that far range damage. However, this wall goes up and that Reinhardt is stuck inside. A lot of damage going on to them. Another shield brought up, but TrueBlade 16 able to just get around that one-dimensional shield and shoot him from a second dimension as he's able to take him out. They do have to seed this contest on point, however. They're just going to flirt with it, try and stop it. Blackout flirting a little bit too heavy, getting caught down. However, True Blade 16 also caught out, just simply did not have enough health. True Orimaru DCing for a short amount of time, but is back. Pandor, however, going crazy on this soldier. Like I said, that far range damage is providing so much, as the point does flip over to the sides of UdeM, and they are sadly going to be able to take it, as University of Hartford scrambling back, unable to actually touch. A lot of oddity in that last fight, but University of Hartford managed to put some percentage up on the board, and at 81%, they do lose this first round of Lijiang Tower. UdeM going up 1-0 on Lijiang.
And I think Hartford's playing pretty well. They're and I think this Ramatra swap is actually a really great decision as well. They just seem to be struggling. If Malga is not inside the hitbox of the Reinhardt, he loses the matchup, right? The way Malga functions as a character is all of his self-sustain comes through shooting the tank and self-healing. But he can't get that self-healing when the Reinhardt is just shielding and blocking all of his primary fire. So with the Ramatra swap, we're going to see a little bit more pressure coming into the enemy team with the big form just being able to cleave through every target, and Cranky right off the start on this Symmetra finds a kill, finds a second, and Hartford quick and clean fight win. Possibly able to chase down this mate too.
Oh, and they do. That's a really good pick for them to get. That late stagger pick allows them to actually get some solid percentage out of this as point just finally unlocks. And exactly like you said, the Ramatra is going to be very good against the Reinhardt here, as we see Jocko the Jester immediately make the swap because of seeing how ineffective it's going to be up against him. I do think, however, Ramatra slightly countered by Amaga. You don't have much in the way of anything, especially if you're True Blade 16, allergic to using shield. Chat, let's watch at home. Let's see if a shield ever comes out from a Ramatra.
We do see the shield. And I think something that's also going to be really important that True Blade struggled with himself was this enemy Symmetra, and now Cranky, using the character himself, is going to be able to get so much value just by charging up that newly buffed beam and just mowing through with nearly 200 damage per second on this tier 3 beam.
You could really see that 200 damage per second. It is absolutely erasing people. There's a little bit of extra fire, especially with the DPS passive nowadays. This is a really, really strong and solid team comp that the University of Hartford are running. And I do think that it's probably a good idea to swap away from the Maga, especially after how ineffective we saw it was for the University of Hartford. So UdeM going to have to make that decision at some point, but University of Hartford halfway through finishing off this point, as they're going to continue to poke up and build some ultimates. As going into this next fight, they are very liquid when it comes to their economy.
I think the ultimate thing for Jocko and the team of UdeM is playing properly around the Malga Shout. If this Malga Shout does not get the value it needs, well, there's not going to be a successful fight in their future. But it seems with a few ultimates coming out from the team of UdeM, they are going to be able to flip this fight in their favor. Revan just sticking around, stalling this out a little bit, as Hartford only expend 2 ults for 2. And, you know, secure that near last fight territory.
Yeah, and both teams are going to be coming up on 3 ults here. Both tanks just about to get to it. Cranky staying on that Symmetra here, probably for a TP play. This is a good position for the University of Hartford to be in. Just like you said, trading ults equally is very solid. And they're also opting not to teleport into window, and instead try and teleport similarly to how UdeM just did into the backline. They do get caught a little bit, but they're able to still live through all of it. Gonna need to look here for Cranky, able to get that beam up, and instead goes down to his contemporary on the
But they are nearly get the Ajax, not quite. Seems Hartford's just gonna need to reset this fight and probably jump off the edge. Avoid
They save every ult. I think that they came in and still left. They dry fighted that, I do believe, and on the side of UdeM. They did use beat, and that's a very good position to be in. I mean, that's the ult economy trade that you want to be having there. Beat is very, very influential, so trying this again would not be too bad of a mistake. A bait TP, that just makes some people look. As Cranky looking to get that beam up, has a lot of options here.
Ults coming out from both sides, and this is massively favoring the University of Hartford, as this Malga trapped himself inside that blizzard. He had no other options, and again, Hartford seeming to win out on that ult trade. We see Jocko now needing to switch over to this Wrecking Ball just to try and get a touch. He does a massive wide swing, rolling out straight onto this objective. He does get the touch, and seemingly is unaffected for the most part. But Trueblade is there to take out Lufsta, and the Symmetra does fall for UdeM. And now Hartford pulling out this Ramatra ultimate, just hunting down these final targets. Reaper soon to fall, Moira super low as well. Ultimates from every character that has them being thrown out in this final desperation fight. Ball almost gets C9 by Orimaru, nearly well played by him, but forces a round 3.
Yeah, forces a very well played round 3 and well deserved on the side of University of Hartford. Like you said, they're playing very well. I think they just needed that time. And you know, hey, thank the gods of Arrakis, I guess, for allowing us to crash this server one time for the homies and allow them to give them an option, even though they still lost that first map. University of Hartford looking to just be back in this, and I think that the Ramatra swap was very large. Beyond that, there was just a lot of other aspects. I think Cranky on that Symmetra felt very, very solid. We might even continue to see that beyond just a TP out here, but even if they swap over to other characters, I think that everybody on the side of University of Hartford is feeling a lot better, very much warmed up to this current meta, as well as just the current state of play against UdeM. So 1-1 on Li Jiang going into Control Center, as we're going to see a TP, and Cranky staying on that Symmetra, which I think is a great idea in the current state of play.
I absolutely agree. First of all, Symmetra is really powerful into this Reinhardt that we know Jocko has been liking, and on top of it, Reinhardt struggles against the Symmetra. And the other character he would probably play, either Reaper or Symmetra, both struggle into the, Sojourn, both struggle into the shield of Reinhardt. Hartford, though, need to take a second, need to catch their breath, as Trueblade has just been getting blasted by every tick of damage the enemy team has to offer. Oh,
yeah, the Orisa is very interesting, but a pick?
Orimaru finds the head of Nickmax, and, well, just like that, Hartford completely in this fight. No Moira for the what we're defending team, is they're just forced to run away.
Yeah, I mean, this Ryan is afraid. The second they see this tier 3 beam, they just have to exfil as fast as possible. They're Cranky going to try and build it up as best he can, but he does lose the Orisa in the process. University of Hartford down their tank and not able to track that when you got 5 people all mogging you all at the same time. A little bit of percentage built up here, but this is going to be the University of Hartford having to get over this point, sadly, as they're going to have to get back to the drawing boards. And I think one of the major things here is definitely going to be this Orisa. I don't know how it fares, especially in a microcosm, but within the context of this match, I don't see the Orisa doing much besides just taking damage and potentially being able to RPS abilities with their abilities. But besides that, just kind of taking damage.
In the ranked experience, Orisa is a really great option into Reinhardt, but I think in the team setting, it can be really difficult to play this character, especially with the likes of a great sound barrier coming out from Blackout, trying to keep his team up. So many ults getting expended on both sides, and literally all 5 from UdeM, and Hartford's still seemingly in this, possibly. A few people did fall, however, and it seems they're going to opt to just reset. Curious to see if Trueblade switches over to this Ramatra.
Yeah, in this coordinated environment, I just don't see the value of the Orisa. I mean, you're just kind of doing nothing. I mean, we got to see onboard camera of with them last fight. They were doing no damage on the Ramatra. They do so much.
The Orisa really didn't do much at all, and I'm not sure why that wasn't the default swap, seeing as how quickly they won on the Orisa switch, and they didn't seem to have much issue with the Ramatra into the enemy Malga either. So I am a little surprised. But that being said, it doesn't seem to matter, as Hartford is able to win this fight. Just a little bit of staggers coming out from the Reaper, and now they set up for this next fight.
Yeah, that was odd. Incredibly odd choice, overall for the Orisa, but still a very well fought fight. The University of Hartford potentially just looking to not utilize their tank to their full ability, and the Cole, however, should be strong enough here. Walls do go up from both teams. Jocko the Jester just kind of bullied back a little bit more. And even if you don't get a kill here, at least holding them off is great until your DPS or your supports are able to actually get a kill. The Ryan putting the way in icicleable position. Nick able to find another onto his contemporary in the side of Revan. But all of this fighting happening off point, does give us a
This could
little
be
bit of
big.
benefit.
Oh, nearly gets to Lucio and Reaper. Neither quite fall, though. Is Hartford just going to have to reset yet again. I'm curious to see if now we see a True Blade swap or if he sticks it out. And it seems like he's sticking with it. I'm very surprised to use that ult without the swap.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like an aggressive ult in a down fight seems like the perfect opportunity to swap out or something. Maybe potentially a little bit faster, especially as we enter in first or last point fight here.
Oh, I
Cranky gonna
love
hit a
this
large
MTP
TP.
wall. I love this play by the University of Hartford. And they just seem to be building up this tier 3 beam by Cranky, and now I would love to see them start and walk. Oh, a great stun by Orimaru, or sorry, by Trueblade seems to cancel the Reinhardt ult. Oh, and so much damage coming out by Cranky on this character. Looking to try and find a kill, has to get this reload in, looking to burn down this Reinhardt, brings him so incredibly low, not quite able to find this pick, but this Mei right there too. Everyone so dangerously low, but can't quite find the value. Orimaru died just before being able to use the Blizzard, and Hartford dropped map 1 against the Canadians in a close 1-2.
Yeah, I felt so heavily that largely was a winnable map for the University of Hartford. And I'm left here wondering, like, what could possibly have gone better. And I do genuinely think it comes down to tank selection at the end there. The University of Hartford going for an Orisa that doesn't have a lot of cleave damage or finishing off ability. I think there were some fantastic plays of bully ball against their Reinhardt, as well as the fact that they canceled a very pivotal ult in the middle of a fight. But you can only do that once. And then there was no finishing ability. Something like a Ramatra that can shoot and cleave through all of these things, or even a Reinhardt who can cleave through and hit multiple targets all at once with their neutral fire and actually do damage, would have been incredibly large, especially after we saw so many low targets brought down by that Sim Beam. So not going to put this all on one person, however. It is a team decision. It is a team sport after all. And the University of Hartford, though they are down 0-1 against this Canadian team, they have the ability to bring it back here, and hopefully they will make those corrective decisions and play something that's a little bit more something that has a little bit more of a solid identity. I think that they were trying to go in way too many directions here. Orisa not being the best option in a brawl necessarily, especially in some sort of coordinated play, as we just saw in our match here. So interesting overall, but the University of Hartford very much still in this, able to bring Li Jiang to 3 total rounds, playing around with a couple identities and a couple different options on the heroes, but finding very smoothly what seems to work very, very well, being the Symmetra, which I think could be played on a couple different maps here. So excited to see what they actually decide to continue going with.
I'm curious as well. Especially on King's Row, this is a map we often see Sojourn, just due to the sightlines, due to the way she can play around the map. Sojourn is decently viable. But that being said, if they stick with this Reinhardt, the Symmetra and just being able to farm beam off of the Reinhardt and melt targets can be super, super powerful. And I'm curious to see where Hartford chooses to go with this.
Yeah, and I think in either direction they could get a lot of value. I think that Cranky is very well known for the Sojourn play that we've been able to see throughout this entire NACE Star League season, as well as previous ones. They've continued to refine and get better at that character, and it's exciting anytime that Cranky pulls it out. But this Symmetra is looking very good as well. So with both of those options pressing and available, whichever one is decided on, just you have to play that style. You have to play whatever that individual is bringing to the table at that time. So Symmetra, you might want to play a little bit more sustainy. With the Sojourn, you might just want to play a little further away and look for pick options as best as possible. And in both ways, I think the University of Hartford can very much win out here. So hopefully they do stick in it, both mentally as well as intentionally, and follow through on their intentions, whatever that comp may be, is a follow through with whatever that win condition is, whatever that fight plan is going to be. And don't dilly-dally or swap or, half in, half out type stuff. Like cats. You know how cats do that? They'll leave your room, and then they'll just be like, I want to be back in your room. And then they're in your room, and you're like, this place sucks. And it's like, but you wanted to be back in here. It's like, well, not when it sucks. It's like, what? What did I do?
What did I miss?
Cats, man. I went on a tirade about cats.
Oh, that's fair. That's valid.
Yeah.
Amen.
Greatest animal. They're fantastic, but Jesus Christ, their vibes are terrible. Vibes are atrocious. Great people though. Great animal. Honestly, top 5 animal. Top 10 animal. I forgot about squids. Top 15 animal. Oh, crabs though.
Cuttlefish.
Oh, it's like top 25 maybe. Cat, like, okay, cats easily top 25, right? Like, hard not to be. Oh, what about humans? Top 26. Let's go with top 26. But University of Hartford has selected a map here, going to be going Kings Row here, as University of Hartford down 1 point, or 1 overall match against UdeM. Does this happen to be the University of Edmonton?
Score. Good call.
UdeM would make sense potentially.
Them score. What?
Regardless of the fact that it's University of Montreal or University of Edmonton, our Canadian brothers up north in the Great White Tundra, doing a fantastic job so far. And why don't we give a quick shout out to some of these names, some of them that I really do enjoy. We got Pandor on the DPS with LFSTA. Don't know what exactly that stands for, or it could just be one monosyllabic utterance. Rounding out the DPS line, we also have Jacko the Jester. Though there is a dropped vowel at the end there, I do like the name. I think jesters are a cool archetype. And then you have OGP Navy SEALs. Love a good Navy SEAL. Shout out to anybody serving or currently serving in the chat. And then Nick Max 5 to round out the support line, as they're going to be defending and holding all underneath statue, getting real cozy in there, as University of Hartford. I guess the plan here for these Canadians is to surprise them as they do creep around. They see a little bit of a hammer and then immediately back as Cranky. A little too tepid to actually just fully int there. University of Hartford just backing away from this full explosion as they see 5 dudes right outside of a statue.
Now, it's going to be really important for a couple things. Number 1, Cranky needs to be able to get access to... He doesn't know the tech chat. But anyways, it's going to be really important for Cranky to get access to these high grounds. And it could be dangerous if they opt to wrap around him. But they don't. They just give this space completely away to this Sojourn, to this Ramatra comp, and this is really, really powerful for the attackers now that they have complete control of this high ground and force them into such a isolated box.
Yeah, but the attackers also have to contend with how do they actually contest point here. I mean, they can continue to rotate, but you're going to see as the University from Canada doing a fantastic job of also just rotating. They do put them in a slightly disadvantageous position, however, as University of Hartford finally drops, takes the defensive position as they have fully flipped map here, and UdeM gonna have to decide which direction they actually go in here. They decide to just go straight for point. Cranky with the full rail. And does enough damage to help out taking Jack the Jester down.
Just like that. Tank has fallen, May just behind that. Hartford just about won this fight. As long as no foolish deaths fall. Orimuro takes out Pandor, and Hartford should be cleaning this one up. Do they not know that Moira was right next to them? I guess not.
He's slippery, like a snake. Also a top 25 animal. As University of Hartford does cap first, and off of a very, very well done rotation. They take high ground, they flip map. I think that's kind of textbook. Early window coming out here, negated slightly by a wall, as they're going to just try and shoot around the sides. But the University of Hartford, like I said, in a great position here, especially after splitting off the Reinhardt very heavily here. If they took notice of that, they could just capitalize, but they do allow this Canadian team to recoalesce on the underneath the archway here. And
lots of ultimates available for both teams coming into this next fight. Curious to see Hartford's suggestion. Seems like they're going to be wrapping around, taking the side ground. Cranky going to be joining them, just looking to see what they can do. Oh, big boop knocks out Orimuro. Now, how does Hartford proceed? Are they going to wait for... I don't think they know. They're okay. They're just gonna say screw it. Freeze cart isolates the Rhine entirely though. And now is Hartford gonna be able to get this kill? As he's completely stuck in here. Seemed to be a great boop by Blackout on those Lucio. Forces him back into a corner. Doesn't let him regroup with his team. And now this May just gonna stall point as long as she can. And Hartford finally cracked this open with just a single ult used. Very cleanly played off of a bit of foolishness from both parties, it seems.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a goober fight, but the University of Hartford being slightly less goobery. That's always what you want to see, especially as a hometown favorite. But yeah, this is working very well for the University of Hartford, as they are going to have to contend with some big ultimates here. The Shatter on the side for Jacko the Jester. Not a lot of blocking ability here besides a beat or a shield to even negate the Shatter from landing in the first place. Let's see if it's going to happen. It would be very exciting, very hyped. Ooh, not done yet, but the beat does come out. Blackout being the hero that was needed. However, slightly too late for Orimuru. Ram Lamp also down as the freeze is going to come out and everyone's just trying to disengage as fast as possible. Revan going up top, getting hunted by Lucio. That's a Navy SEAL. You best be afraid. Oh, as OGP Navy SEALs does manage to take out Revan with a really well-timed melee.
And that's just the aggression coming out from OGP Navy SEALs. Is well, he's a good Lucio, and that's something Lucios do. Is they hunt people, just like Navy
they
SEAls.
do hunt people.
I don't know if
Just like Navy SEAls.
People,
They do. I mean, I would love to know where he was March 5th, 2012, but we'll talk about that later. As Orimuru here just looking for picks, but Cranky's the one to actually get at the actual long-range DPS.
Great May
looking
wall.
for a fantastic wall.
With the overclock of Cranky. Cranky's just in there like
Wait,
Squidward.
he's
He doesn't
moving.
care. He's just hitting all
moving.
these shots. Now, Lucio, the only one remaining. I thought for a second Cranky would hit that final shot too. And what an aggressive, cute spray. Hit the tech. Hit the tech. Show us you can do the tech.
Shows it's off card.
Yeah.
It's off card.
It's not
Well,
tech.
it's still cool, but it's not tech.
Hey, but he's on high ground, and it doesn't seem like the other team is going to be able to get this touch.
No, not at all. As a very solid overclock for the side of University of Hartford's or Cranky, and no other ults used. They are really doing a solid job of just playing the metagame here of this ult economy back and forth. And these May walls have been electric. OGP Navy SEALs, the one getting hunted this time, as this window is still up, and everyone is able to do a lot of damage. A lot of ults being invested here by the University of Hartford, starting off this third point solid. It's a great way to go, but most of them do get negated just by a solid kite on the side of our Quebecois friends.
Now, Earth Shatter nearly available, but Orimuru says, I don't care, we're just gonna run you down. Now, the attack visor from Pandora asks, how is he here? What happened?
How did you get there?
He must have flanked through the this room, I suppose. But
Quebec, very well known for their metropolitan system. I guess they took the train.
seems that way. As the there is an Easter egg in the new Queen Street map of the PvE mode in the train. Fun fact.
Ooh,
There's
hey,
a
I hope we
train
get to see that
on the
later.
Canadian map.
I would love to take a look at that later, but we're going to have to definitely get there as University of Hartford, looking to finish off this Kings Row attack phase, as they have less than 2 minutes to remain. Been doing a very solid job up until this point. Not to say that they did poorly in the last fight. There's just a lot of ults being put out, and not a well tracking of where that soldier actually went. But now that those threats are kind of out of the way, we do have Jacko the Jester's ultimate on board. This Rhine Shatter could be very large. Shield isn't up for a couple seconds, so if they egress a little bit too hard before they have it up, lose one ability to be able to stop it. Let's see the reaction times on him. Blade 16 comes down to him. Will he be able to block the shatter, or just get walled off? The Mail's coming out, however. LFSTA doing major damage in this freeze. The lamp does save him a lot, but True Blade 16 can't stop himself from falling.
But Cranky does find one on his way out, and it is still 4v4 here. Hartford could look to pressure the space, but they opt to just hang back and chill as they wait for True Blade 16 to respond.
Yeah, it's looking like a chill kill server, the way the vibes are right now. And I like them. Got a little bit of jams going on in the background, but fighting's going to have to come in at some point, as we do see Pandora on the Hanzo now, fighting a little bit of that util of being able to sonic and see exactly when people are coming in. OGP Navy SEALs unaware, but manages to still... Oh, the boop's so close to taking 2 off the map there. University of Hartford managing to survive. Still in this fight. No losses on either side here. The Cole coming out. Please not again.
This Lucio's just solo dominating this high ground. And it's really what you need to see from a good Lucio player, is just recognizing, right, one single click of a button can completely, you know, deny space from where the enemy wants to be. Cranky, though, on this angle, putting in mad value, finds the kill onto that dangerous Lucio we've been talking so much about. But Pandora on this Hanzo, is this a skill orb taking out Cranky? Just barely surviving. Good enough. Orimuru still has his ultimate, unsure if he's going to use it or try and hold, but this fight is going south quick. Ults being thrown out. This Blizzard is finding a lot of freezing targets. True Blade 16 returns on the Doomfist, but he's not going to be able to 1v4 no matter how good his Doomfist is. And the Canadians manage to stop Hartford at the final corner of Kings Row, third checkpoint.
Yeah, not a bad push from the University of Hartford. Obviously starting off a lot stronger than they finished, but they did still do a very solid job overall. I think that the University of Hartford just slowed down their Jets a little bit too heavily, as well as the fact that, like you said, this Navy SEAL just lurking on the high ground has been a very tough situation for the University of Hartford. You want to take that high ground, you want to have extra angles, especially when they're playing such a flat comp. Only having one person denying 2 to 3 people on the side of UHart from getting up to that high ground and utilizing it to its full ability is brutal. I mean, we saw overclocks denied, we saw entire windows denied just by one button press from OGP Navy SEALs. That's effective. That's very, very effective. So for the University of Hartford, they're definitely going to want that back if they could, but instead they're going to have to set up and mount a solid defense here, which I think is very capable for them, especially up against this Reinhardt. I think that the Reinhardt kind of loses out to Ramatra in general. So if they continue to play around that, recognize the weaknesses inherent to the enemy comp and the prowess available for their comp, UHart should be able to finish this off, potentially not even see third point on their defense. So we're just having a little bit of a chuckle at Pandora having a very tough time getting back up to high ground after being denied the ability, or just being pushed off by his tank.
Let's see this Reinhardt rollout.
We're going to see the 50-50 grind on the rail
my,
immediately
in there. And Hartford walls him off immediately, and that's a massive win seeming for Hartford. But Jacko is still there, still applying a lot of threat to just general space control. And this Lucio is dangerous, and Sean Revan not able to keep him alive, keep his Sojourn up, and Lucio nearly gets out, but a mini Lucio diff coming out by Blackout takes him out in the end. But that being said, the lack of Sojourn is so devastating for Hartford.
Well, I mean, they say this about Navy SEALs IRL. One Navy SEAL is as good as 10 to 20 soldiers in your regimented garrison. And that's what it looks like here when we see OGP's Navy SEALs. This is like multiple people diving, but it's only one guy. They're doing a fantastic job on this Lucio to continue that pressure onto backlines when everybody else is playing very flat and very linear behind their Reinhardt. So if they continue to do that, the University of Hartford's in for a world of trouble, especially if they don't, put a little bit more effort into stopping that and recognizing the Lucio is just feeding. They're not doing anything too crazy or too magical. They're solid. They're very, very good at their job, but that is something that you could take advantage of, especially if that Lucio isn't there. You go on the main team, or you could just kill the Lucio as they get very low, but they're not being able to be finished off.
And no kills found for the side of Hartford as True Blade 16 falls in the chase for that Reinhardt. Not quite able to find what they're looking for, and Hartford just need to back off and wait for this Ramatra respawn.
Yeah, this is slightly brutal as the University of Hartford just continuing to back here. Second point still defendable here. A lot of space on the board for them as the Ramatra should be back in a couple seconds. University of Hartford should be able to remount an actual defense here, but they have high ground splitting issues. They have a Reaper up on high ground. I think they even have a Lucio lurking on that high ground, and a huge shatter comes out with not a lot to defend against. Cranky able to find a huge headshot. True Blade 16, however, turning on their tank as well. Nick Max, however, able to take out Cranky, taking that overclock off the board. A Reaper TPing.
It does take out one. Now, this is still a very winnable fight for UdeM, as they have the numbers advantage, actually. And they pull out the ultimate. True Blade matches, trying to just keep this one up for the side of University of Hartford. And he's just trying to stall, trying to stabilize as best he can. Revan finally returning. And
that long-range lamp.
Jacko lands the pin on the Reinhardt, but doesn't connect it into the corner. True Blade just bullied back and eventually is forced to fall. And now Hartford all but done here as UdeM roll into this final checkpoint.
Wow. I mean, UdeM is playing incredibly well. They're setting a very, very solid pace. They're going in with 5 minutes available. Something you said recently, within the last couple days, or last couple streams that we've had, that's more time than you have to attack the first point. And the University of Hartford seeming to adapt to that pressure and that pace by going the Orisa again. I don't know how much value that's going to get once again up against the Reinhardt. I don't know if that's the necessary solution here.
It looks like what they're opting to run though, as Trueblade already brought so extremely low, just playing in this cart location as he's forced to stall it as best he can. But a massive freeze from Lufsta seems like it's going to wrap this one up. The Baptiste of Revan gonna do what he can as Blackout stalls a little bit longer, but he gets boofed off the point, and that rounds out game number 2 here on Kings Row as we head into our Flashpoint map.
Yeah, this is a tough position to be in. University of Hartford down 0-2 going into their third map. They have the ability, I know that they do, to be able to pull off a reverse sweep and put this back into contention. But it has been very small differences between these two teams. And I mean, just looking at this play of the game, they have the sauce. I mean, look at that. Just a solid flank, very smart tactics being pulled out for the University of Hartford here. But I mean, you're going up against a Navy SEAL, you know? The guys who got Osama. They're doing a fantastic job of showing it off right now as the University of Hartford really seeming to struggle, not only against their Lucio, but, well, actually, why don't you tell me? Because from my perspective, it has largely been that Lucio setting a crazy pace and just shaking things up enough for that main squad that isn't playing with the Lucio to follow up and capitalize. I mean, I think about that first point defense. The Lucio just goes up and at the very least distracts 2 members of the University of Hartford's team, but also managed to get 1 kill and then put the other one in critical condition. That's a lot of value that you get out of 1 character. So is there something else here the University of Hartford needs to be looking at? Is there something else that they could be implementing to try and stop what UdeM is trying to do and leading to their very well done and deserved victory?
I think a big thing would be having Blackout on the Lucio for UHart, trying to match where Navy SEALs is going, right? If the Lucio can fight the enemy Lucio for those high ground control, or if the enemy Lucio of Navy SEALs is going after his teammate, like Cranky, for example, playing with Cranky to help control that space, help deny it from just a straight up 1v1. And now we do see a swap coming in from UdeM. UdeM, yeah, sure. As Nick Max 5 swaps his out for XLXL. Curious what we're gonna see here.
I'll be brave. Tomfoolery. Just a little bit. As XLXL being brought up from the bench here. Interesting choice. University of Hartford should be able to capitalize not only on that, but just in general. Like you said, I know that Leroy, I know that Blackout can play to that level. They can play impactful Lucio. They can play solo dive Lucio. They can really get in there and just mix things up. Even if you're not getting kills, just providing that pressure onto the backline so they're not able to help with their front line as their front line is getting ran over is very surefire way towards victory. Especially in general, because of the fact that you have a stronger tank. I think that Ramatra sucks out on Rhine most of the time. Ults might not be comparable, especially because of the one-dimensional nature of the shield, but it doesn't really matter, especially if you're winning in the neutrals so heavily. And I think that Ramatra should be winning in neutrals against Reinhardt. So reducing as much support as they possibly can get just by throwing extra bodies at that backline is a great idea and something that definitely, if Blackout is able to do, should help them edge them back towards a victorious state. However, right now, as we head into Servasa, or as we get ready to head into Servasa, as a quick bio has been called for the side of UdeM, as we head into Servasa right now, University of Hartford is down 0-2 up against UdeM, this Canadian university team who've been playing very, very well. However, if they continue to play the Reinhardt, I don't know how effective it's going to be on this wide open of a map and with so many fast turns that you'll be having to make as you get from point A to point B to point C to potentially points D and E.
I'm typing.
That's very understandable. Once again, I like to say it every single match just in case you don't know. This is Eric Culver, my co-caster, who's not only just the coach and responsible for this University of Hartford roster and team, but also running all of the background stuff for this stream. So if you're in chat, say a big ol' thank you, Mr. Eric Culver, and please capitalize Mr. but not Eric Culver, and to give your thanks to this fantastic, multi-talented, very impressive man as he attempts to keep all of this going, keep this ship afloat, as it were. As we do head into first point, University of Hartford, on an interesting comp here, finally moving away from the Ramatra, trying out something that could work very well against what this university from Canada was running, and I think still could be, as they swip over to the dive. They have Jacko the Jester on the Winston, XLXL, their swap on the Mercy as OGP Navy SEALs looking to do a little bit more damage as they are on the Zenyatta.
I Googled it. University de Montreal. And,
Universidad de Montreal.
Good kill by
True 16.
But the blaster able to get the stun on the res. Good value, but it seems it's not going to cut it as the Reaper and the soldier just get an absurd amount of value.
Yeah, I didn't get exactly to see exactly how that functioned, but I was very locked in on Trueblade 16. Doing solid on the Doomfist, and I think that it has value here, especially when you're looking at the backline of OGP Navy SEALs on the Zen and then XLXL on the Mercy. That is a ripe, susceptible backline to be punished very easily if they are able to set up solid dives. But Blackout going down early that first fight was brutal. Not a very good position to be in here. But the University of Hartford just circling the wagons here, looking for an opportunity.
Oh, Cranky.
To get some good damage in.
Oh,
Blackout
what a
already
kill!
taking out his contemporary.
Great plays by the University of Hartford. Just everyone doing their absolute best, working their magic. Now, Lusta going to be hunted down by Orimuru, most likely, with a little bit of help from Blackout. They take him out. Big stagger, and we see Jacko the Jester switching over to the Roadhog, of all things. Interesting to see how this fares. Roadhog did get a slight buff to his hook distance as it pulls them a little bit closer, increases the consistency with his damage, and I'm, a little curious to see how it plays out into the squishies of Hartford as well as the Doomfist.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that a hook or any sort of displacement against a Doomfist is very, very pivotal. However, I mean, I did call it earlier, some gooberage. We are seeing definitely a small amount, if not a good amount, of gooberage. Jacko the Jester whipping that hook a little bit too much. University of Hartford still in control of this point here, but a lot of people are low here for this U-Heart squad. They're going to have to spend some time healing back up before they actually go in. Trueblade 16 dodging another hook, but Orimuro getting hunted down by Pandori. And Jacko the Jester posted up here on point. Cranky, however, still able to get shots in. And honestly, the Hog might be working against their favor as you're just able to build up so many rails and just provide so much extra damage to those ancillary targets. Not able to jump all the way up to the top, but Cranky looking to keep us alive at 99%, trying to hit a Mercy or just go back to the Hog who's already chunked down. A lot of damage on his head already. Cranky finally able to pick him off. Trying to deny this res right now, unable to do so. And Pandora back with that visor manages to find Blackout and the flip for the side of University of Montreal.
That Mercy did some magic. I'm not sure how they're still alive in this fight, actually. I
mean, that's a Mercy specialist if I've ever seen one.
But because of that stall, Hartford just unable to, ice the flip, and they hold on to a couple ults that they perhaps could have used to wrap it up. That being said, the point does conclude, and they wrap up to round number 2, and we see Trueblade switch over to this Junker Queen, which I think is a little bit of a comfort pick, and also perhaps just a good option that he favors into the Roadhog.
That was a very large pick from OGP Navy SEALs, just slightly aghast myself as a caster.
Big curious on how the Junker Queen fares into this Roadhog, as both characters have these pulling utilities, but the Roadhog much more of a threat to Mr. Trueblade, whereas Trueblade has a little more threat towards the enemy backline with the threat of just landing a knife and taking someone out that way. Hartford
chunked incredibly low,
just narrowly surviving the Reaper ultimate. Now a rush pull hog combo does come out, isn't finding anyone quite yet, and Trueblade so low here, but Jocko just dominating control of this space, and Hartford holding on to this with everything they can.
Yeah, they're trying their absolute best, and they're doing a fine job as far, but the point's ticking, and at 1-0 on this map, definitely very problematic if you continue to allow them to get such a good lead up. And the hook and blade coming out at the exact same time. Now on board, no Suzu available. University of Hartford's Triple 16 whipping a huge ult into the backline. Reaper manages to dodge, however, so many brought down very low and having to be forced out, but Mercy's back alive, and that's a problem as we saw last point. Draco the Jester able to find Orimuru. Mercy isn't able to save him though, as Cranky does manage to take him down, but the Mercy's still alive and finally taken out, and that's very, very necessary as we saw the magic they were able to do last time. Definitely very important to get that Mercy down, even if it's not going to be your first kill. Get her down before she's able to use that res, especially if she has Falco.
Now we see Cranky trying to just walk forward, farm an early rail, looking to see if he can scout out this enemy Sombra who is sneaking up behind Orimuru. Orimuru nearly going to get caught out, but does catch them out in the end and is able to escape with their life just barely. Now has the pulse bomb available, looking to see if he can make something work, hoping to bait out a Suzu beforehand. Now Cranky pulls out the overclock just a little early, gets baited by this rotation. Oh, and the Mercy just survives, getting away just in the nick of time. And Hartford not finding anything with that ultimate. We do still see Pulse Bomb and Sound Barrier online for the University of Hartford. Orimuru looking for the Pulse Bomb. Does dodge all of the Sombra's cooldowns as she does jump away. Oh, no recall duel. Orimuru gets taken out, nearly finding the kill onto the Mercy, but she does live in the end. Sound Barrier comes out just to keep his team alive through all of the constant pressure that UdeM is putting out. And oh, Triple Eight gets taken out mid-rampage, doesn't find any value. Now, Orimuru still holding onto this ultimate, looks to go blink in and drop it, doesn't find the kill. Now, this fight is just going to wrap up. Hartford moving into one fight territory, possibly just needing to concede to the next point.
Yeah, this is a tough position to be in. I mean, they really had a good way going, and they have 99% up. They might be able to touch here, but it would be a very fraught effort for this University of Hartford squad. They have so much denial that's facing them right now. They have the EMP coming out, as well as the Hog ult. Cranky's able to find one, but they're not even able to touch, and they're down 0-2 on this Cervasa, as well as in this match. They're still staying in this fight right now, but they do need to back up. And they need to start preparing for this next point. They need to keep their eyes forward towards the future as best they possibly can. We don't have actual knowledge of where the map is or what the next point is, but I'm going to assume that everyone's moving towards it. It should be Palace, if this is what that is called. Or the last one is Palace. I don't know what this is called.
The Bell. I don't know. Sanctuary? Totem?
Oh, we'll call it Bell, Sanctuary, Totem. I like all of those options. Hopefully University of Hartford likes this option as well, as they're going to need to win here if they can start this reverse sweep in the match, as well as just the reverse sweep on this map itself, as UdeM only one away from claiming Northern supremacy.
Revan pulls out the Kitsune Rush, trying to keep Truebade alive in this backline. Excuse me, does TP in and escapes just at the last second, right before the enemy Roadhog is able to take him out. But the Mercy is able to get this res, and Hog opts to go for the reset. And I think my caster has completely tuned out, and he's testing.
You can stand there, man. I'm sorry, but I am still carrying attention. University of Hartford up 50%, and that's really, really good. A lot of ults used on the side, and a forced swap for Draco the Jester as they do head over to that Winston. Back again. An interesting choice, and especially up against this JQ, could be a very bad option. An early Suzu used for something. However, we're still down one Blackout, not here for this fight, as University of Hartford's going to have to hold out as long as they possibly can. Pandor with a great right click onto the jumping Orimuru. Blackout on the I-95 going way too fast, trying to get back to this point. Hopefully they do not crash. As Cranky simply getting hacked. Oh, his car getting careened into the side. Blackout is back.
If Triple can live, he can look for the ultimate, but of course just walks into the bubble and gets immediately taken out. The healing not being able to sustain him through the raw damage output that he was receiving. But ultimates are online, and this is a very winnable upcoming fight for the University of Hartford.
Absolutely, it definitely is winnable. They have solid ults available, as well as the fact they have a lot of time to play with. However, you don't want to lose any fights if possible. I mean, that's just a brutal situation to be put into, especially with how fast these points move and how much time they're already giving up. So it's going to be win or go home here for the University of Hartford as they are looking for this first fight.
Hartford, if they want to get 2 fights, they need to be acting now. In fact, they need to be like losing the fight now. But the Kitsune Rush comes in, and Hartford very cleanly seems to just flip this map around. But they do expose themselves to the ultimates in the other side. Now, Tactical Visor gets used, and Sound Barrier completely counters it. Blade available for Orimaru. Curious to see how much value we're able to get out of this with so many mobile characters. Shout, Blade, comboed, just looking to run down this Winston. He does get hacked out. Oh, and he is taken out, but the value may have been found as picks are coming down. Nice knife into the Mercy, and Hartford do secure this 3rd objective and keep their hopes alive of the reverse sweep.
Yeah, and that was huge from the University of Hartford. Like you said, they found the value even though they gave their life for it, and that's what you want to see. And they're starting it back up. This is a very solid position for the University of Hartford to be in. They used a lot there, but so did the enemy team. And it's looking like the only ults that are going to be available for this next fight are going to be tank ults apiece. However, Cranky, very close, if not just having another overclock available, and we've seen the magic they've been able to do with it so far. Hopefully they're able to continue up with that pace and find some great value from it here as 4th point starting to unlock in a couple seconds.
And this can actually be a really great position for a Sojourn. It's not necessarily your typical scenario, as we see Trueblade pulling out the ultimate and he gets taken out mid-cast. Painful to see, but Cranky is able to find a kill on the enemy Sombra. Orimaru just going to stall this out as long as he can, as he kind of feels this fight is lost. Just building what ult he can, finding any extra kills he can, but actually nobody has died yet, as Orimaru does actually find a kill. Blackout does fall. Orimaru eventually is taken out by the Mercy, and Revan does live. So they stall that out and find an extra kill while building plenty of ult charge for this next re-engagement fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the University of Hartford doing a fantastic job there, at least winning out in the small neutral game. As sorry, 1 second. Okay, never mind. I just got a phone call. My bad. The University of Hartford and Revan able to get out there was very, very large as well. They're able to not have to waste as much time just disengaging, just by dying. However, Rush coming out here on the side of UdeM.
Hartford.
Great Suzu.
Hartford just running down this soldier. That was really well engaged, and I'm really, really happy to see that. Now, it's going to be important they don't lose Revan, but they do. Although it may not matter in the end, as it's Winston just going to get pulled, and Hartford take this fight and set themselves up nicely with a massive ult bank for the rest of this map.
Yeah, they need to be very conscious, however, about not overexpending the ults here, especially when they are not the best so far as from what we've been able to see at defending the point. So they need to be able to hold on with a solid defense here, but they also need to make sure they don't over-ult. Hopefully those two things don't come into conflict, as sometimes your hesitancy on the defense might lead you to over-ulting or just dying immediately. Triple 16 just erased from this universe.
Now, Revan pulls out the ultimate early, just trying to... Oh, no! 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 Heartbreak! Heartbreak for for Revan as he slips off the edge of the map. No! And Hartford lose the fight with ultimate still on the board. Trueblade falling so early. Revan slipping off the edge. I'm not sure. I think there will be a touch available for Hartford if they're able to survive, as Orimaru is there to get this touch. Revan pulls out the ultimate, but he just gets mowed down by the tactical visor. 3 fall, and Pandor just locking it down with this Mercy Pocket. What can Orimaru pull out? Can it be a 5k? Trueblade has returned! Hits 1 with the ultimate. Not enough. The Kitsune Rush is there to clean the game, and that spells the end of Saravasa as Hartford fall 3-0 in this week of NACE.
Yeah, and that's the University of Hartford sadly losing 0-3 against the University of Montreal, who played a fantastic game overall. Do see Another incredible play of the game here from Cranky, doing very, very solid on the Sojourn. But I mean, these last second swaps and not even, sorry, last second swap, these last second meta shifts, very large, influential meta shifts coming out on the side of Team 4 and the Overwatch dev team overall. It's brutal to see. It's very, very tough to see from everybody involved. As a lot of prep over the last week has gone into this new comp, this new identity that has been forming, and then for all of that to be pulled away at the last second, it's very, very tough for the University of Hartford to adapt to that so quickly. This is a breakneck pace that they are seeing all these swaps and things come in from. So sadly, UHart unable to win out here. They do lose 0-3. And I believe this is their second or third match lost in this NACE Star League season. It is important to remember, however, they are playing in a higher league than previous, and still doing a fantastic job at that. So hopefully University of Hartford continues to keep their heads up high, and do as best they possibly can to continue moving forward. As I mean, if this is rock bottom, there's only ways to go up from here, as well as the fact that there have been many victories so far, even in a much tougher season. So hopefully this just gives them the fuel to VOD, and to improve on, as there was definitely amazing things that were done by UHart, but overall, if you just can't win, you just can't win, and you got to figure out what those things are, so you can try and fix them and solve them for the future, or even adapt to how a better team played, and then take those take that as inspiration to improve your own play styles yourself.
Yeah.
So
And
solid job, and shout out to the Hartford roster so far.
and you touched on it there. It's really worth noting, right? The University of Hartford, they're competing in the Grandmaster 3 division of this NACE Star League. Not a single player on this roster has even reached Grandmaster, right? The just sheer level of the skill level of this team and the cohesion that they have made it that they went nearly undefeated in the Grandmaster 5 division the previous season. So the decision was made, we're here for competition. We're not here to just win easy games. So the decision was made at some point to bump it up, move up to that Grandmaster 3 level, with the expectation that the competition will be there and Hartford can compete. And that's absolutely the case. Hartford has been performing really admirably in these high level competitions. And it's just not working out, but at the end of the day, competitions like these lead to improvement, right? It gives us stuff we can look at and stuff we can learn from, right? The Lucio, Navy SEALs, he was a great example. That was a really, really good player, and I can promise you, I'm going to be looking back at that with Blackout and just, comparing his Lucio to Navy SEAL and being like, hey, here are some ways you can improve. Look at these great plays this guy made in our own match, right? Learn from this. See what you can adapt. See how you can, essentially steal from his game and adapt into your own. And I think if Hartford can do that throughout, like, just in general, right? Improving from their competition, learning from their mistakes, they can keep on competing.
Absolutely. And I think that yoink and twist methodology is just like, it's the reason why you want to play these high level matches, even if you are, and to no extent has the University of Hartford actually been facing this, even when you get shit stomped. And that has not at all what's been happening. That this University of Hartford team has still managed to put up very solid fights against these teams that are, on paper better, by rank better, but they're still able to pull out something. They're able to do something because of that heart, because of their cohesion, because of the fact that they play as a team and continue to work day in and day out. Even if it's not on ladder, they're VOD reviewing, they're scrimming, they're doing all of these things that are necessary for them to stay at the top of their game and to go up and have the opportunity to play against these higher level teams, do something, and then go back to the drawing board and say, okay, this didn't work. What can we adapt? What can we take? What can we say? This didn't work for them. This did work for them. How can we yoink and twist and make this our own, and make it so that we have the opportunity next time to play them and be better. And I think I said this the last time the University of Hartford lost. Very much a winnable option. I think that today was another example of that. And hopefully, with a continued improvement for the University of Hartford team, they'll see them again later within the playoffs or throughout the rest of this NACE Star League season. And they're able to beat them, if not do a much better job against them, as they now know their tricks, they know what's up their sleeves, as well as the fact that they have been learning from these teams and going to continue to get better.
Yeah, and let me actually see if we're going to have an interview.
In the meantime, chat, you can stand on this rock. Do you want to see? Chat, you want to see you can stand on this rock? You can stand on the rock. I didn't know this. I play this game a lot, and I did not know this. You could stand on this rock. What is it? Kneeling. You can stand on, like not falling, not like teetering, just stand. I don't know. Is there a rock on the other side? Sorry, I was just interested. Hi, Sean.
Hello.
You
Sean,
taught me something today.
You taught this man something.
Hi,
Oh,
Jason.
God.
Oh, bye, Jason.
Hold on, we're getting camera.
This is why. This is why I thought you couldn't stand on the rock, because I knew for a fact you can't stand on this one.
Oh. Oh, you saw me climb over it?
Yeah, no, not on this one. The other one you could stand on. This one you can't.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't understand why. Mm. Why? Why, Blizzard? Heckin' why?
Unfair advantage.
Unfair advantage. This is clearly right side favored.
No. It's left side favored because attackers can or defenders can sit up here. Imagine a bastion or a shield, right? It's OP.
Flashing back to architect noises.
All right, let me.
Alright, yeah, getting rid of this.
Lovely.
There's a slow intermission. How are you doing, Revan, aka Sean from the University of Hartford team, backline extraordinaire? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, got back from a 2.5-hour class to play some Overwatch. It's great.
And
What class was
lose
that?
3-0. Let's say what it is.
Yeah. You know what? I'm honestly feeling good. I'm not feeling bad at all.
What was the class, by the way?
It's my UIS, AIDS and Epidemics.
Oh.
I took that class. It's actually a banger.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
It's
that's a good
a
one.
little enjoyable. Yeah. Did you have Edward Stacy? Do you remember the name?
Yes, Edward Stacy was the absolute champion. Oh my god.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually kind of beast mode. Yeah.
Hey, chat. I don't know.
His son was there.
His son, yeah, no, he brought his son in for one of our classes too. This is all during COVID, but he was
Does
very
his
much beast
son
about it.
Have AIDS or have an epidemic?
What the fuck, Adam?
no.
Adam, what the
Just
fuck?
know
Like,
I know
actually,
nothing.
what the fuck?
I know nothing. I just
Like,
know this is an AIDS and epidemics class, and your teacher brought a show and tell in.
He brought his fucking son.
Cancel him. It's over. Twitch career is over, bro.
What the fuck?
No, it wasn't to enrich your education. Why'd he bring him in then?
He has a son!
You first a babysitter for him.
Yes, sometimes you just don't have a fucking babysitter. It's not like his son's an adult.
How old is this person?
A kid!
He's like in middle school or like elementary school, I think.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh my.
I see. So Chad, did he get COVID or not? At any point, did he get COVID?
I don't think so. Oh wait, no, but our professor, he got COVID 3 times.
Bingo. Epidemic. I was right.
Boom.
And you're trying to tell me that his own flesh and blood relative who lived in the house with him didn't also get COVID in any of those 3 times?
He probably did.
Epidemic.
Always. Yeah. Yeah.
So how's Overwatch treating you these days?
Oh, you know, I barely play. Too much schooling to do to play. You know how it is.
But your education's coming along.
Yeah.
Hey, that's important.
Sadly, yeah. Takes away my Overwatch time, but you know, it is what it is.
Peter, do you have anything to add? Or is this the end
What's
of the
your
interview?
GPA?
What's your GPA?
What's your GPA, man?
Okay, yeah. What's your GPA? Yeah, that's
This
earning
Overwatch
GPA.
shit ain't working out.
You ain't going pro here. What's your future looking like outside of it?
My future's kind of looking kind of I'm riding the line of a 3 right now. You know how it is.
Hey,
Just kind of
hey,
like riding.
riding the. Are you above that 3?
No, I'm like a 3.
But you're a 3. Your GPA
Yeah,
starts with
yeah.
the number 3.
Yeah.
That's
so, like,
what matters.
okay, yeah.
2.99. That's not a 3.
No.
3.01. That's still a 3. I bet that man's got a 3.75 at least.
I actually kind of want to know what's his GPA.
I actually have insider information. He has
Ooh.
a 2.5 right now.
Wait, which one?
Wow.
Which one?
Him, right there, the Lucio player. That's why his brain is so small. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Peter
and
and I
this
out
over
here like what is
I'm
wrong?
mad that Sean has a 3. Like,
Yeah,
that's
no, actually.
75%. That's not good.
No.
Like, that's really
Also-
bad.
Also, Jason, he's kind of cooking right now with like a 3.2, I think it is.
It's not
That's
good.
not cooking. That's not cooking,
not
guys.
good. I barely tried and I got a
Peter,
3.83.
Peter,
You
everything
took
makes
baby
sense.
classes, Peter. I don't want to hear it. You took baby classes.
I was a double major and I had a 3.86.
I took baby
Okay,
classes?
While being in like
Your
like
GPAs?
leadership in 4 different
lying
clubs
about
and other programs.
I took baby classes.
All right, I mean
Yeah.
social science, but like
Yeah, it's psych.
Yeah,
I mean,
come on, man.
But I managed to get an A in abnormal psych, which is actually tough, and then also I got a B in stats. Stats for psych is fucked.
no, but actually,
in general,
like
it's so easy,
like
bro. I
real
took that.
talk.
I came out of that with a B+. Yes.
Learning your guys' GPAs is explaining why this whole Overwatch
So
thing is
much.
really hard. So
Like, it's so tough for you guys because you guys are fucking morons. What is Jack's GPA? Is Jack there?
Wait, no. I actually don't know their GPAs. I was lying the entire time. Wait, what
Can
are
we get a
GPAs?
GPA check? I want a full GPA
Oh, wait,
check
hold on,
now.
Hold on. Leroy, what's yours? All right. Results. Wait, Jason, what's
They
yours?
make
Peter,
numbers that high?
what were
Jesus.
you? 3.8.
I graduated
Okay.
with 3.83.
Okay. So they both. Well, no, Leroy knows. Wait, 3.1. You know? Yeah. All right, 3.1 for Leroy,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jason. Jason doesn't know. He said 3 something.
3 something.
He said
Okay.
3. Yeah, I'm a 3. 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, we need to coach Carter these asses, bro. Like,
Yeah, no
Bro,
practice
classes
tonight.
are
Get
hard,
to the
bro.
library.
Classes are hard.
get the fucking library, bro. I'm
Class-
closing the
Let's
game
go,
right now.
Jack. Let's go, Jack Pepin.
What's Jack got? What's Jack
Wait,
got?
what?
Wait,
Jack?
no,
What
he's
is
a
Jack?
fucking music major.
That's what I'm saying. He has
3
baby
point,
classes.
hey, but
as well.
3.92, Sean. 3.92.
3.92. All he does is listen to music. He's like Lucio, bro. His classes are pretty much Lucio.
Music is hard.
Music-
Hartford is also, it's a music school. Like,
yeah,
he's not,
it's a good music school. It's a competitive.
like, it's not
music school.
Juilliard, but like it's yo, that motherfucker does not have a 3 GPA. That motherfucker right there does not have a 3, like higher than a 3. No shot. Fuck off. You know what I'm saying. Look at that motherfucker, tell me he has a higher than a 3 GPA.
Bro can't even count to his GPA.
He can't, bro. He cannot.
Pulls out an actual calculator. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I pretty
Yeah,
much. I mean, like, I'm an honors program, so I'm writing a thesis next year.
Wait, what?
I've
Oh,
given up on my GPA. I'm focusing on other things. You know how it is.
What?
It's like a scale pretty much. So you have the GPA, and then you have my MCAT, right? And extracurriculars. So GPA goes down, but then MCAT high and extracurriculars high, boom.
No,
Like-
see, okay, Sean is actually teching. If he's just going to the medical field and is planning to go to med school, then yeah, like none of this GPA shit actually matters. He's actually smart.
He's cooking. This guy up here, he's cooking.
I actually, yeah.
How'd that,
No, like MCAT skipping is actually like real tech in college. You can just like
mhm.
MCAT skip. Like,
I'm going hard for a 505 or up.
yeah.
And then yeah, we're in.
There's 3 hidden tech. Well, there's 4 hidden techs, but one of them is kind of just BS. There's MCAT skipping, there's LSAT skipping, then there is an equivalent for some Sci-D degrees is they have a version of the MCAT for psychology, so you can do that as a skip as well if you have a bad GPA. And then there's CPA skipping as an accountant
There's one
if
for
you do accounting or business.
engineers have a similar thing.
Yeah, I think we actually have the same. It's called the same thing for psychology and engineering, but they just have tailored tests for them, and I can't remember what they are, but they're like higher education, like test skips essentially. Where like you got a bad GPA, whatever, but you passed this test that's like really
Yeah.
supposed to be hard, and it's like then you can make it in anyway.
Yeah, cause alright, so real talk now. I pretty much was just like, it's. I've been struggling a lot with my GPA and like
That's fair.
trying to bring it up. So I'm like, as long as I can maintain and get and do well in all my extracurriculars with my like my extra research I'm doing with my professor and the MCAT and everything else, then I can be fine and like still have a high shot at getting into med school.
Yeah.
That's pretty what my thought process was.
Yeah, and I don't mean to clown on you too hard. GPAs are very
No,
difficult. I think that
yeah,
college is a very difficult transition for people to be making, especially because there's not a lot of stability and continuity of education from high school into college. So that is one of those things that takes a lot of people a hard hit down, you know. I imagine some very similarly to what happened to Adam is what happened to me. I mean, I went into college, my first semester's grades were atrocious compared to what I had already been getting in high school and stuff. I went from a 4.0 down to a 3.8, and that was brutal for me. And it sounds like I'm joking. I'm not. That really did fuck me up for a while.
no,
I
that's
went
fair,
I
yeah.
went from a 90 to a 3.8, which is like a 90. So it just
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I kind of say the same for him.
I'm
But
sorry.
he's a wunderkind, and not everyone is going to wunderkind like Adam.
I'm from
but,
Vermont,
like, still,
so like yeah. Living in
learning
Gray
about-
was such a rigorous high school. It prepared me very well for college.
just
Mm.
doxing your whole town.
Wow, let's all go to
No,
Adam's
Peter,
place.
doxing would be clarifying that Leland and Gray isn't in my town. Or would that be anti-doxing?
No, that would be doxing.
Oh. See, that would be doxing. I would never
All-
say that.
All of this is doxing, but it's also doxing like 40 people.
Huh?
So
Hey, but also, speaking of
Is
doxing,
Jojo-
twitch.tv/Eric Culver catches this
Jojo?
face 10 a.m. every morning.
My cause.
yeah, we're not doing a real interview
Oh,
anyway.
my God,
So
So, Sean, talk to us about Overwatch. How'd the game go?
I think the game.
Tell-
Well, besides the laws.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about the game. You know, they were a good team. I feel like there's some like communication was like a big factor into why we lost. We definitely had like a decent amount of fights where mid fight it's just us kind of like either screaming just like targets or whatever, or it's silence. There was no in between. It was kind of just like everywhere. Or
I have a
nowhere.
question about that.
What's up?
The fights where you had no target to go on, or sorry, that there was no comms being made, were those the ones where you guys ran Orisa?
I think so. Somewhere around. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I do think that the Orisa was a little bit tough, and I think that a Ramattra should have been like a mainstay.
Sorry to cut you off.
No,
but
go for it.
I also feel like some swaps we made were not as good because either we don't have the scrim practice with that character, or we just haven't scrimmed them in a while. Like I made the call to go Bastion first map to just burn the Rhine shield, but we haven't scrimmed with Bastion in like a few seasons now.
I
Yeah,
think
it's been a minute.
an extra detail, right, is the lack of experience in general versus a Reinhardt. Reinhardt did get a during the Malga patch. Reinhardt did get a like decent buff that I mean nobody's been able to experience the Reinhardt buff in the last 7 days because it's just been Malga the entire time. And playing around a Reinhardt can be pretty difficult. Right?
Yeah.
His shield in the wrong circumstances, his shield feels paper, right? Because it just falls over from soldiers, from Cassidy's shooting while he's trying to make a transition. In the right situations, in the right hands, Reinhardt's shield negates everything. And one of the best options in some cases to try and play around a Reinhardt is exploit the one-dimensionality of it. Reinhardt's shield only blocks one direction. So if you got 2 people shooting from opposite ways, all of a sudden somebody's getting shot in the back. It's, one of those important things you can consider and try to exploit.
I think we definitely weren't taking the opportunity to definitely play angles against the Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Like we could have probably had like someone go white and just like shooting from the back as we came at them, or maybe even just like a slight angle maybe for that first point. But I don't think we were playing to our advantage as much as we could.
Yeah, and I do think the meta change, or the patch with the meta change did impact a lot, because had this Malga meta not come out, I have a feeling we would have had a little bit more recent practice running our Doomfist, which the Doomfist comp is a pretty viable option into the Reinhardt. You have the threat of your Doomfist getting counterpinned, but if you have a Suzu for that, right, and you just have your Tracer and Echo or Sojourn, probably Sojourn for Hartford, right? Just applying pressure from different angles, trying to just drain resources, and then looking for big punch engages, like that's a viable option. But again, it's worth remembering, right? This is a very good team that you're playing against. They're Reinhardt. It was very clear he's very comfortable on that hero. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Navy SEALs was top 500. And also involved in the raid that killed Osama bin Laden March 12th or March 2nd, 2012. Jesus Christ, I don't remember my American history.
Nice.
Bro says he went to an American history school.
Oh yeah, who was Osama bin Laden then?
I know who Saddam Hussein was.
I really wanted you to say 42nd president. That would have been so heat.
No, Saddam Hussein was the guy I played the finals with last night. Sam Tebow named that his account name.
Yo, Sam is so funny. Sam is actually so funny. Oh my god. That's good. That's quality content. You can only get at twitch.tv/EricCulver.
10 a.m. Monday through Friday. Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock. I go until about 12 to 2, depending on the vibe. Be there, be square. I'll plug in chat because
who cares? Also, I don't think anybody's still watching.
I think there are 0 viewers in chat.
Solid.
You mean they're missing out on the best interview?
Oh, I'm tired, man. So, I'm just gonna fucking swag Jack Adams' entire flow. What's next, homie? It's a tough loss.
No way.
You, tough loss today. Obviously a lot to go back to the drawing boards on. Well, not a lot. Mercurial small things that you guys need to improve on, but you do need to get the reps in. You need to play as a team a little bit more. Fix up those polls, and maybe even question, like, why there were dead calms at certain times and stuff like that. But for you, from your perspective, what's next today, tonight, the rest of this week, month upcoming, year upcoming? What's going on, man?
Tonight, I gotta read a bunch of stuff for my politics class and my comparative analysis class. But I'm doing that. But Overwatch-wise, I think for our scrims coming up, fuck the meta. We run what we're comfortable with, so that we can avoid doing swaps that aren't good against that. Avoid doing swaps that we don't know how to play with.
Question.
What's up?
Also, Cranky, one trick Soj.
What are your thoughts on Trueblade playing Reinhardt? Genuine question.
Genuine?
Do you need an extra follow-up detail?
No. I think we can definitely try it in scrims, and if we're ever playing comp, I wanna see it, cause like I haven't seen much of the true Ryan, of the true heart.
It's the big reason I'm asking this is if there was any comp that Hartford was just gonna one trick, it would be the Ramattra comp, I think. With a possible switch, right, to like a Queen, maybe a Winston on certain maps, whatever.
Yeah.
But Trueblade has voiced opinions about not liking Ramattra for
Yeah.
reason A or reason B, or whatever. And Reinhardt is a possible option. Possible. Might mess around with some Sim Ryan.
That was my question, Sean. Honest opinion. What do you think about Symmetra?
Got Symmetra.
Oh, Symmetra's bad.
What kind of Symmetra's peak, I'm not gonna lie. She has the beam gun. I like it a lot. The beam gun is great.
I have an important question. Motherfucker.
Who was that?
That was Arlo.
It was Arlo.
Oh,
I was gonna ask him what his reaction is to Super getting a new partner.
Who?
I don't know who they are. They met in Japan though. It seems like a lovely story.
Is it the person that he messaged on Twitter like 4 times, like Bark? Or is that someone else?
No, that might be other hoes, TM.
Could be.
He might already be texting other hoes, TM.
Oh.
I'm putting trademark at the end so people know that I'm not sexist. It's Women's History Month. I'm just repeating what these other TM are saying.
Tim. Here. Do I post this on stream? Look up Timuko. Or you
just
can
DM me.
Or you can go to Matthew DeLisi's Twitter. Go to his replies, and scroll past the first 2 to the 3rd and 5th.
Wait. Replies? I can't because I'm not signed in on my thing, dude.
All right, that's gonna end the stream here. Everybody, wave goodbye. Bye.
I just want to confirm.
Bye stream. Bye.
I just want to confirm, chat.
Bye stream.
Bye.
I'm not